Team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick.
Skywrath Mage.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Vengeful spirit.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
I speak for the trees.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban.
Alright everyone, welcome back here. Game 2 of the Synergy League quarterfinals. We're in the upper bracket, best of 3 between Album Sheet and Complexity. It's Album Sheet that takes the game very, very late, but they do squeeze out the victory, and now they've got themselves the Razor. So we're hopping in sort of the middle of the draft, saving our voices as that game went quite late, but I'd like to welcome you in. I'm Helium, with me Blaze. How you doing? What are you looking forward to?
Looking forward to some push. We see Vengeful Spirit has the aura to enable towers to die quickly. Nature's Prophet has the rat potential, is able to pick off towers left and right. As long as we don't see like Tree and Protector Earthshaker come out, I think we're going to see a shorter game than what we just saw. So that's always something to look forward to. A little bit more blood on the battlefield, and I don't know. I mean, I can't blame the players, honestly. Like, this has come down to the metagame of immortality.
5
The
seconds
longer you can
remaining.
survive, the less mistakes you make. In general, you're going to be feeling more confident going into that mid to late game. You're going to be feeling like, okay, well, you're not feeding the gold away, you're not giving your advantage away. Great. So you build up heroes that are durable, that can really survive, and you don't want to put them out in a bad position. But in doing so, failing to overextend means you're not actually taking risks, you're not also taking opportunities, and therefore it's hard to close the game out. But I don't know. The most recent change in 6.82c was the fact that the buyback gold got increased by, or sorry, the
10
buyback
seconds
cooldown
remaining.
got increased by a minute, which is good in the sense that people don't have 2
5
lives as readily. It's
seconds
easier to
remaining.
break them. But at the same time, the losing team that's buying back is already
Reserve
expending a lot of
time.
gold. I guess it's kind of nullified a little bit by the gold swing, the rubber band effect. But the one thing I got to think about is the fact that a lot of teams are unwilling to push if they don't have that extra life, if they don't have that extra time. So in a lot of circumstances, it also delays aggression by a minute. So it really just comes down to who's been expending it, kind of 50-50 on that one. But at least we're going to be seeing
Radiant
the
team
ability
pick.
to make kills happen here. Album Sheet is picking up the Venge, is picking up the Sand King, is picking up the Razor. A lot of magical burst nuke if they prioritize their first abilities, their Plasma Field, Magic Missile, and Burrow Strike, and then obviously they can follow up with physical damage as the game progresses. Around the time that you get 2 points on Out of the Storm is around the time that you want your Wave of Terror to be maxed out as well. So a lot of cool synergies, a lot of great pick-off potential. We'll have to see how it's used.
10 seconds remaining.
Synergy in the Synergy League? Who would have thought?
5 seconds remaining.
Sorry, I don't know. We'll see, though. I liked Album Sheet last game. They had a
Reserve
Rubik
time.
and the Ancient Apparition, and honestly, they did a lot of rotating. They killed every single lane. Those
Team
supports
pick.
were involved in every single kill in the early game, and now they've got supports that can do that even better. Sand King and Vengeful Spirit, a dangerous roaming combo, but it depends. You can fall back, you can get caught up in greed, and sometimes it will definitely pay off. Sand King and Venge might want to just stack some camps, get Sand King a Blink Dagger by maybe 7 to 10 minute mark. Those are the likely timings for it, and maybe not rotate as much if the lanes don't need the help. But we'll have to see. They've actually been out the
10
Zeus, Spectre's
seconds
gone, I
remaining.
like it, but Death Prophet's gone, Batrider's gone, Faceless Void, Enigma, Complexity ban that
Radiant
out again,
team pick.
Visage and Mirana banned. They'll go Skywrath, Nature's Prophet, a little bit of synergy later on with the Sprout and the Mystic Flare, but that's about it. And Puck. Yeah, a fresh face of an old friend, if that makes any sense. A hero that is so iconic in Dota getting picked up here. New changes, Aghanim Scepter to the Dream Coil. Let's see what we see with this Puck.
Well, we see a good counterpick in terms of the
10
fact that Centaur
seconds
Warrunner was just
remaining.
picked into the Puck. They have a lot of expectations
5
for the
seconds
Centaur to get the
remaining.
big stuns coming out before Complexity does actually
Reserve
disengage, does respond to it. So one thing that you have to keep in mind, I guess, is that we're probably still on the Luxembourg server, so Puck's ping is going to be a huge factor
Yeah,
here.
it's actually just Europe, I believe, the server is.
So that's
They couldn't agree to rotate Lux, US Lux, so I think it's just Europe,
Okay.
East or West.
there's no it's Luxembourg or Stockholm, but yeah, it's probably Luxembourg.
Yeah.
So, in this case here, Puck is going to have a really hard time phase shifting hoof stomps. Hoof stomps come out, you just blink hoof really quickly, and generally speaking, a no-ping environment, Puck automatically
Dire team
avoids
ban.
that every single time. Like, and I'm not even going to say 9 times out of 10. It's impossible for a professional player on no-ping to not dodge a hoof stomp. But in this situation, you got lots of ping behind you, it might be more difficult, and the Centaur Warrunner pick
10
might
seconds
actually
remaining.
be able to get a lot of good solo kills, not just on Skywrath, Ember,
Radiant
or
team
Furion,
ban.
but also on this Puck, which generally is a hero that I would consider a counterpick. You ring them in with the Dream Coil, you prevent the Stampede from really giving them much room to maneuver, and that in of itself could be really good. But in this case here, it all comes down to
10
the skill
seconds
usage and,
remaining.
of course, playing on some really high ping. Beyond that, Ember Spirit being picked
5
up.
seconds
Similar thing with the
remaining.
Searing Chains immobilizing his opponents, but another hero that could be picked off so easily if just one spell connects
Reserve
with him.
Yeah. Well, at least they've got a good way to get Sand King out of his Sandstorm. You got the AoE damage from Puck, the Silence, the Chains from Ember
Dire
Spirit,
team
the Mystic Flare from Sky. So Sand King, if he's the playmaker with the early blink, they could definitely try to mitigate that, and then I think Album Sheet are going to be the aggressors. They've got the stronger, what looks like early to mid game. But then you're thinking about, let's take it really, really late game. Album Sheet are trying to break high ground. You've got this Ember Spirit farming the lanes, pushing the lanes, double Batter Fury, Daedalus. We saw that last game go almost 80 minutes. Ember Spirit, Nature's Prophet,
10
they're not the
seconds remaining.
tankiest, but they're pretty elusive. The Rat Dota can be annoying and are pretty good in the
5
late game, so
seconds
Complexity maybe
remaining.
securing the late game a little bit better with this draft, but they'll have to get there. Album Sheet look pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
That Sand King wants to kill people. Look at that
Radiant
face.
team pick.
Oh boy, the Crixalis, yeah, he's on the hunt. It is worth mentioning, you were talking about the interaction, Series Chains of Sandstorm, it does interrupt channel effects, but it doesn't hit invis units, so that's one limiting factor. You're going to have to like Dream Coil or Winning Rift, that stuff. Still, Sand King's going to have a hard time against silence in general. The fact that Skywrath has his Ancient Seal, the fact that the Waning Rift is on the table, Sand King could easily get picked off, despite being a hero that has 2 great escape mechanisms.
10
The Lycan on
seconds
top, though,
remaining.
this is pretty interesting. I think Lycan's a hero that's underrated
5
since he got
seconds
nerfed,
remaining.
but I'm still not sure if I have the confidence to put him like in a position where
Reserve
he
time.
has to make something happen. And in this case, I feel that that's exactly where they're at. Complexity have a great turtle lineup with Wrath of Nature, with Sleight of Fist from the high ground, with Puck using his counter pushing orbs and such. There's a lot of potential for Complexity Gaming to hold underneath their tier 2s, underneath their tier 3s, and Lycan is a hero that wants to take those objectives really early. So it's on the back of some resistance from his allies. Make that happen. Cho really needs to take down the Roche, take down the towers, and just in general farm the jungle very nicely. But this final pickup here, I'll let you digest that one. What do you think?
I mean, the idea of like defending the high ground with the extra range from a sniper and the big right click of a sniper, it seems fantastic, but rarely
Prepare
do we
for
see it
battle.
work out, especially in a game where you will probably see, I mean, honestly, even Lycan in the late game will probably go blink Abyssal Blade. We have seen it
Yeah.
before. You've got the swap for positioning by the Vengeful Spirit, you got blink stun on the Sand King, you got blink stun on the Centaur War Runner. The only one lacking the mobility to just kill you immediately is the Razor, and he probably will never find it. Well, Stampede, everyone's mobile. I don't know. I like the idea, like, oh, high ground sniper, tower defense. This is a tower defense game, right? But I don't think it's going to work out. We will see. I'm happy to see Sniper.
Sure.
It'll be in the mid lane versus Lycan, so he'll have a good lane, but that'll be dependent also on the rotations of Album Sheet. They might think the Sand King pick is again greedy, like he'll just sit in the jungle, but if they don't, Sniper could be in some trouble.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting here. I think the big deal is whether or not Puck goes for a Lincoln Sphere after Blink Dagger. I've seen Blink Lincoln's build-ups a couple of times here and there, and I think it's imperative that it is picked up here, because if you get the Lincoln Sphere on the Sniper or on the Ember Spirit, that saves them from a Burrow Strike or from a Nether Swap. These abilities being things that would easily kill them if they connect. Like, you start off, that's just the first stun. The Burrow Strike is the first one, but then they follow up with 3 more, and you're in a really bad way. But if you get the Lincolns, you're not going to have to constantly be afraid of the Vengeful Spirit the moment she hits level 11. So I think there's a lot of value in the defensive mentality there if you go for the Lincoln Sphere on the Puck. But if not, this game is just so hard. Like, I think you almost have to go Blink Sniper to blink.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, like you have to not only blink to disengage from like when the Centaur is trying to jump on you, though he can stampede you, but you also, when you get swapped, you have to blink back immediately or you're just going to get crushed. So I think, yeah, blink on the Sniper or Lincoln's on the Puck, they'll be okay. But beyond that, it's about holding the high ground, because they don't really have that much in control. They have the Dream Coil, they have Chains, and that's about it. No hard disables, no hard stuns. So, Album Sheet, they're going to get silenced, they're going to get movement impaired, but they're still going to be able to, generally speaking, do what they want to do. And we'll have to see how effective that's going to be. If Big Num is good on the trigger finger for getting somebody out of a bad spot with the Stampede, and also, of course, finding opportunities where you can just jump on your opponents when they are vulnerable. For now, though, like you said, the laning phase, I actually have to give that to Complexity. I think that they have a really good laning phase until the towers start getting broken down around
think they do
the
too.
8 or 9 minute mark.
Well, I mean, this can just take you back to 6.81, right? Every time you see a Lycan, yeah, their lanes suffer, but then they group together and all your towers die. And you can still do that, you just get a little bit less benefit from it in 6.82, which has discouraged it for the most part, but after an 80-minute game, they're like, yeah, let's get some push. So we'll see the lanes do all right, we'll see Sniper do well, and I think it's really going to come down to whether or not Sniper can get his peep on. If Album Sheet gets peeped, I think they're going to lose.
Nice. Well, we'll have to see how much control they put on the sniper in the early game. If he puts a couple of points of take aim early, he can just kind of stay on his high ground and play defensively. But
I think you have to like once you get 2 points in it, he's almost not gankable.
Yeah, but for right now, he is extremely there's a smoke to seed on the Venge. She actually bought observer wards, courier, and smoke, so she's running just purely consumables right now. But this allows the sanking.
She's the perfect woman.
Yeah,
right there.
But with that, I mean, the Sand can go for boots first, and that actually allows his Burrow Strike to be relevant at level 1. So if they can get the surprise factor off, they're going to go for the first rune here, which is revealed by both Treant and Ward. It is going to be this illusion rune, which doesn't do too much for them. But in the end, I mean, if they make this smoke worthwhile, and they get the first blood, I think that can bring in the tempo of the laning phase. That will make it difficult for Sniper to get to that hardcore carry level that you're kind of alluding to.
Yeah, well, they've got that smoke, like you said. They found that illusion rune. We're maybe hoping for something a bit better, like a haste or an invis, but they won't use it, and both teams actually did have vision on that top rune anyways, and quickly we'll check out here. We've got a Radiant Observer ward without a cosmetic. Like, is that not the rarest ward or what? Put down there by Complexity in their offlane. So that's Puck in the offlane, going to be played by Lamp. Middle lane, we got Swindle Lemons on the Peep. And we've got Z-Freak on the Nature's Prophet in the jungle. Moon Meander farming safe lane Ember, and Riser on the Skywrath.
You're just trying to make every Sniper hater just turn against you now with this Peep talk here. But
yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's gonna go for.
You got Peep.
I don't really hate Sniper, but I kind of hate Sniper, and that's enough
dude?
to aggravate me right there.
His voice lines
peeping.
are so good. You got peeped.
But anyways, he's got a 0-1-1 build, headshot and take aim for now. It is going to make it difficult for Chomi to hold the lane, but every time he pops the Howl, he'll get a couple of CS there until he's forced off the lane entirely.
Like, a Sniper is going to own this lane, I think, at least until the Lycan Wolves are enough to bother the Sniper. But, like, look at this. He's sitting on half HP. Anytime he tries to get close, he gets peeped.
I think a big deal here is the fact that this Observer Ward is on the top lane, and it sees No Fear's position. If they don't see the Venge, Sniper can't play this aggressively. But as it stands, he's able to go in on the enemy high ground because he sees the enemy supports. And that's a lot of value created just from the one ward, I believe, placed by the Puck there.
Agree. That's my favorite place to put the ward, but it has become commonly de-warded, and it also will be de-warded by just the standard bush ward anyways, but oh well. Also somewhat risky to put that there's a lot of teams will just 5-man in their jungle early on.
I think it's important that Aloha Dance finds a kill though, because he's getting a nice little flank off, but only level 1 Burrow and the boots. He's not going to find the kill. So the big thing here is that there is a triple stack on the eastern side of the jungle here. So that is very important for them to farm up that hard camp, get the triple stack, get the Sand King moving the right way. But at least for right now, he's only level 2, and it's actually a pretty long haul between level 2 and level 3. Like, it obviously sounds very small, but as it stands, it's going to be a lot of pulling if that's the only way they can gain experience.
Yeah, and then we'll chain another pull up here in the top lane. Obviously, you can get some experience by just rotating for a gank. But look at this! Z-Freak onto the courier. He's going to get it. 700 net worth. That's the bottle that was coming out to the Lycan. That was like his only hope to sustain in this lane. Now he needs help.
Oh, desperately. Desperately needs help. I mean, they don't even punish Z-Freak for it. Like, sometimes you need a TP scroll for the Nature Prophet to be able to pull that off, but in this case here, he just goes ahead and does it man mode, and he doesn't even end up feeding as a result. The first blood is still on the table here. Another thing to mention is that Aloha Dance, he keeps on pulling away. Like, we talked about that double stack. That's a nice little troll camp he could have gotten experience for. Actually, it looks like only one creep fell there. But anyways, Aloha Dance is doing the stacking while No Fear does the pulling. They really need to get Sand King to kill here if he's ever going to get to that level 2 Sandstorm, because as it stands, they have a double stack with Mud Golems. They have is that a quadruple? Yeah, quadruple stack now. But with the fact that he is the one that keeps on going to stack instead of the Vengeful Spirit, he is the one that's not nearing level 3.
Yeah, that is a little backwards, but I don't know. Well, we'll see what comes of it. No Fear getting harassed back by Lamp. Let's check out with Lamp. I think he's doing quite well. Level 3, almost level 4. He's actually 2 CS, but he's getting his levels right now, and that's going to be enough. At least the big Dream Coil there. If you do ever fall behind, you got the chance for the Rubber Band gold to get you back in it, but it's Complexity actually already 1,000 gold ahead in the first 4 minutes. 400 experience as well. So they're doing a little bit better, mainly because the supports in that duo lane are spending a lot of time just stacking and not getting experience. Meanwhile, Z-Freak, that offlaner, or should have been offlaner, is just jungling right now. It left a Riser alone to get some XP from the lane, do the pulls. Moon Meander's farming uncontested, like 100%, because Bignum's rotated to the middle lane, and there's this smoke. They want to try to shut down this sniper. He's now 23-8 compared to Lycan's 16-8. Lycan was doing well when he could still summon wolves, but that's all done. And this could be the first blood. He's trying to run back, but the slows aren't there. The smoke, they've smoked around the backside of this, but do they re-engage on this 3v3? I don't know if they want to take the fight even numbers right now.
They can't close the
If
distance.
they don't stun the sniper, then like they probably all die.
Yeah, he's got the shrapnel. Riser would have an ancient seal if he needed it, and they just don't have the ability to all get in there and chain disable. It just wouldn't be enough of them jumping in. Like, they would get a kill out of it, but they probably lose 2 on the retreat. Just not worth it at all. So they miss their smoke opportunity. They lose the Lycan. He's just now getting his bottle as he TPs to the front line, and he's just having a hard time. So obviously Complexity just absolutely destroying this early game, and we'll see where it brings them, as right now a moon is about to hit 6, and that's when things get dangerous for the Ember Spirits. For right now, I will point out that Senki just played one of my favorite voice lines in the entire game here. He picked up an illusion rune and he says, "We 3 kings of Disorient are," and I think that's very clever. But mid lane,
That's really good.
big TP, easy kill with the Assassinate and the nukes coming in from Riser.
You know what my favorite voice line is?
Yeah. Got peeped.
You got peeped.
Damn it!
Alright, they're pushing on the middle tower, so trying to bring down the tier 1, and well, Complexity, when you talked about that really good early ward, was nice. The early points and take aim means Swindle is pretty ungankable. I think Album Sheet, they try to run the supports and be a little greedy or just, I guess, efficient with their supports and stacking, but I think you almost need to really contest and that Radiant off lane and make sure they can't get down a ward early, because they know where the supports are entirely, and every time they're gone, Swindle plays defensive. Every time they're not, he plays aggressive, and it's really worked out for Complexity. I feel like Album Sheet, we're maybe still going to have the weaker lanes, but probably could have done a bit better to pressure middle.
Bignum had some solo kill against Riser, potential anyways, but he is invis, he's just scouting it out, and it's going to be a little late for him to actually see how low Riser is and actually catch up to him. For now, Swindle Melons, he's looking for the opportunity, going for a few right clicks on the creep wave. He could go for the Lycan, but they really need Riser's concussive shot to lead that off. For now, Swindle all by himself. Bignum sees him, but he needs help. He needs one other person in melee range for this to happen.
And no Stampede yet, so Bignum will not be able to get the kill on his own. He's getting chased by the wolves, so he actually drops that, and it still hurts the centaur. Now he's gonna run back through it!
Oh no, not like
And
this,
there's an
Bignum!
assassinate! Oh no, Bignum, he gets sprouted up as well, and another, the trees to block, and that is just a series of unfortunate events. Nature's Prophet Z-Freak, he's killed a courier, rested soul, and he's killed 2 heroes as well. We don't care about their souls. He's 2-0 and 1. It's 3-0 for Complexity early on, but they still are going to have to watch out for just the push that is Lycan. Even with the bad start, Lycan can rebound very, very quickly.
I feel that Lycan definitely can, but what about the rest of his team? Like, the Sand King is finally started clearing out the stack, so he is going to hit level 5, but this Centaur is still at level 4. He's barely able to stay in experience wave of a range of this wave that's pushing down on bottom. The Vengeful Spirit is just about to hit level 4 herself. Like, these heroes don't do much until the Stampede comes out. They're going to try for it here with the Razor TPing, but I honestly don't know if they can hold even with him.
Yeah, they'll throw out the free glyph that they get. The tower brought down to 439 right now. Razor's here. He's got treads. He's got 1,300 in the bank. He's the CS leader as well. 50 and 24. Moon Meander just behind that. 49-20. Doing good. It'll be Power Trends to come out for Swindle, and he's the next CS as well. 43-10. Lycan at 30-10, doing alright. And Z-Freak jungling, killing couriers, finding some kills. 20 and 0, tied along with the Sand King that's clearing out stacks. And bottom lane Inquisitor's in some trouble. That Razor we talked about, the CS leader, quickly brought down by a maxed out Flame Guard and a couple other abilities from some other heroes. Now the entire team, minus the puck, showing up at the bottom lane tower, will be falling. The second tier 1 to fall in 8 minutes already, so a lot of push here from Complexity as Nature's Prophet gets involved with the middle lane and the bottom lane pushing.
It's all an Aloha dance here to bring this game back into their control. Like, they have absolutely no handle on this game right now. They're getting pushed in by hard carries. They're getting pushed in by Sniper and Ember Spirit. Although there is a lot of value in Sniper's push potential with the max shrapnel, it's still pretty absurd that they've been able to do this much. It's got to be on the Sand King. Aloha Dance is at 1,900 out of his 2,250. He's been jungling, he's been stacking, he's rotating down bottom under Observer Wards. And really, if they, it looks like they'll get the tower deny here. Yeah, it is in deny range. So if they get this tower deny and they get the Blink Dagger up, I have Album Shooter back in the game. But until then, Aloha Dance just, he's too much of a liability for how much they invested in him. And Novier goes down to one right click and an assassinate.
Meander not going to live that tower hit. Flame Guard only blocking the magic damage. And now Swindle's in some trouble. The stuns from Centaur. But there's the Dream Coil from Left to save the day. Chomi's still here trying to bite away. Hot at his heels. The Lycan Wolves will bring him down. And he's able to get away as there is no Assassinate to bring him down. Inquisitor, Arcane Bolt trying to get him. Seafruit thinking about going in for maybe one more. But
oh my gosh.
Very narrowly. Chomi actually gets another kill with the Lycan Wolves. Might even get another onto Riser.
Wolves OP.
Nah, I think they'll be able to bring him down. But the Wolves are OP, man.
Jeez, they are really insane. The amount of HP regen they get, the invisibility, they're great for harassing, but in this case, getting a couple lucky crits in there as well, they actually are able to bring down low armor heroes very quickly, and nothing that Puck could do without a blink dagger or a longer duration and phase shift. So
Chomi doesn't get the extra gold though, does he? Because he wasn't 900 AoE from the kill, or does that still accredit it to you if you kill with your own minions?
You know, I used to know that, but with 6.82 bounty changes, it's a little weird. So I'm not going to comment on that one. But I know he gets experience.
Complexity had a massive lead, so that's fairly big deal. But I have no idea either.
He gets experience, I know that, but I am not positive on that AoE gold bounty because it was recently changed.
Alright, well, take it to the Wikipedias, guys. It's up to you to figure it out, because we're stumped. Feel free to tweet us and let us know.
A prize.
Z-Freak's just dueling it out. There's a Sentry Ward, so he's going for it, but he's getting crit down pretty hard. He goes down to 80 HP against those wolves. Just so damn annoying, and I mean, he shouldn't be going down to them with the fact that he has teleport back up now, but he won't be able to TP to the top fight, and that's a pretty important one, as they're closing in on the Razor, but there are reinforcements in tow. Aloha Dance, no epi, but does have the blink.
Assassinates go out, the Dream Coil going to land as well, and actually the Orb, nice play there by the Puck. I mean, playing Puck on this ping, well done there. The Skywrath falls though for Complexity, so they will still lose him. Dying, I guess, to tower hits. Ember though, Moon Meander actually finds out Aloha Dance, trying to burn him down and wants to give chase. Pop the Drums actually going to continue to chase No Fear. Limp has nothing to really keep them in place. The Assassinate though coming through with one more attack, that's going to be enough. Getting peeked down there in the woods. Looking up, we got Big Numb. He's got his Tranquil Boots, 800 gold, and, well, he's in a lot of trouble right now. Silence goes out, the wand charge. There's some return. Actually, no points in return.
Oh!
And we'll miss the stop. Nicely done there by this Puck. Making two big plays up there in the tree line. That's where the Puck would love to fight you every day.
Yeah, like, the fact that they were able to do that without the Nature's Prophet is huge. The Wrath of Nature did come through to assist, but other than that, it was really just some really smooth plays from Complexity, closing in their targets, and they're another team that can not necessarily chase directly. Like, the Puck's the only one that chases really hard. The Ember Spirit gets a little bit of movement control as well. But the big thing here is that they can secure kills with the long-range Assassinate, and if the Ember just gets a chomp on the back end as they're in retreat. So I think that there's a lot of value in just beginning the fight on the right foot, and that Puck, like you said, was the key initiator there that was able to bring the Razor low, and the Sand King counter initiation just wasn't that strong. He's got a 4-3-0 build as far as the fact that he hasn't put a point in Epicenter yet. Might be enough to bring down Swindle here, but Big Numb has to close in a little bit first. Oh, can you
Aloha Dance in trouble. Or sorry, Aloha Dance creating trouble for Melons. He's the one in trouble.
Oh, Roche.
Forward, that's that. And Chomi, and yeah, there you go. No medallion, but they still have a wave of tear, like the Vlads can solo it anyways, so it'll be a little micro-intensive for Chomi here, but they should be able to do it, and I don't think anyone's going to suspect it for right now. So it's good heads-up play for Album Sheet. They've obviously snuck quite a few Roshans in this series already, as they were the Radiant testing, and they were just like walking into the Rosh pit and taking it. Puck, that offlane. Trends, almost a null tally, and the big deal, though, picks up that Blink Dagger. Sand King with his Centaur with this Roshan Gold, and maybe another camp or two, or a creep wave or two, going to have his Blink Dagger. But most interestingly, I think, Nature's Prophet, you said he was looking to brawl this game, and now the mechanism comes out, so he's continuing to brawl, looking to keep up that push with the armor auras, and we'll just rely on Moon Meander to do that right-click damage, along with, obviously, the Sniper. So settling down into his 3-roll, maybe even 4-roll, honestly, for this Nature's Prophet.
I feel there would be way too weak to physical damage output if they didn't have a mechanism on either the Riser after you pick up a couple multis. Oh, gosh. Oh, there's 3 silences.
Aloha.
Is that 3 or is that a visual bug? There was Waning Rift and there was the Ancient Seal. I guess the other must have been a bug because he had 3 silence debuffs on him.
Sometimes it throws up 3 on when I disagree with it as well. Sometimes there's like 4. I don't know. It gets a little
Just
crazy.
filling down a screen with a little...
Maybe he silenced himself. He's like, I should
Nonsense
just shut up. I should just shut up now. And then he just died. Poor Sand King.
Dire's middle tower is under
Difficult game.
attack.
But for right now, the tower's dropping low. This will be the second tier 2. The first was denied. They really want to last hit this one, but here comes the Sand King. It's smoked up. Perfect timing from him. He's going to look for the epicenter. If they force his tower, they are all going to die. The mechanism is available. The Flame Guard is maxed out. But if they get caught, they're still going to take some real considerable damage. So for now, they fall back. Sand King takes a few shots from the shrapnel, but still is invis thanks to the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, they can just keep dropping. They pulled actually the whole creep wave, so I think they're just falling off.
Such a
But
good
they
bait.
can just stay very far back and keep dropping the shrapnel on the tower to bring it down. 15 minutes in, and while I thought Album Sheet at this point would be able to group up and be stronger, I did not foresee Complexity being the team to 5-man and deathball down the towers. They've taken down 2 in the bottom lane, 1 middle, 1 top, so 4 towers overall. There's the Assassinate out, the Wrath of Nature, and again, really nice like global and vision synergy from Complexity, both in game 1 and in game 2. But game 2, for now, looks to be going much better. They got the 2 top net worth heroes, basically 3, honestly 4. Look at that block. Everyone is so even in net worth for both teams, but it's still 7,500 gold ahead for Complexity, and oh, that's Remnant going forward, finds Aloha. If they disable that blink, I think they win the team fight, like, almost hands down.
Exactly. It's all about the Sand King right here, right now, looking for the plays, but they break down the tree line. He's not confident in this, even with the Stampede. He's not finding the opening, and they just blink, silence on him, and Aloha Dance is gonna go down.
Dire's middle tower
Beautiful.
has fallen.
They dropped the Mystic Flare. The swap was there, but that proc the coil. Now Z breaking. Nice. Sprout throws out the mech. Bignum will miss the stun. Chomi trying to give chase. Probably can get Z freak. He'll turn now for the puck. Puck though with the phase shift. Can the sniper. Melons has to bring down Chomi. Actually, Chomi might just clean up everybody. Another good Sprout, but he's able to reach through onto the other side. Moon Meander and Melons are still alive, and he runs out. That 18-second duration assassinated. He does have the Aegis, but they've got Searing Chains, Flame Guard, and physical damage. The Wolves are going to be a bit annoying, but no ultimate form right now. He tries to get the Wolves before the Flame, and Limp comes back in with another cleanup kill, and it's Album Sheet losing all 5 for just, what, the 3/4 roll Nature's Prophet, and the 5 roll Skywrath Mage. So Complexity taking the tower, taking the fights, and looking to honestly take this game, because here's a lineup they can
Radiant's
actually
bottom
take
tower
high ground
is
with.
under
Yeah.
attack.
It's worth noting that the Lycan did get the double kill, and they are severely handicapped as far as net worth goes, so that's a lot of gold for him. That's suddenly he has a BKB just off of roshing and taking 2 kills. So it is a lot of value heading the way of the Lycan, but nobody else was in that AoE gold bounty range, so it really is only him progressing, and the others are just still so far behind. So Battle Fury comes out for Moon Meander. Swindle can move in towards Manta or whatever he feels would be most appropriate in this situation to progress. Like I said, I like Blink Dagger. Scotty's also pretty awesome, but I mean, we've seen so many various builds from the sniper. Could go many different things. Nest, Mendes, and Maelstrom also on the table, but it just depends on how Glass Cannon you really want to play. For now, speaking of Glass Cannon, it's a Limp. He's been a hero that should be really squishy, and yet has been able to make the plays happen left, right, and center. The Waning Rift plays, the Orb phase Jaunt plays, like he's been able to dodge so
3-man
many
coils.
It's so many potential ganks and so many potential kills, and not only survive, but come out with many kills. 4, 1, and 6 is current KDA.
Yeah, he's done very well. Didn't get much in the offlane, but his rotations, they were definitely felt, and now he's progressing along quite nicely. He's 5th overall, 4th for his team in net worth. Lycan, like you said, he was the only one to get some of that AoE, that rubber band gold, as it was like a 7,500 gold deficit at the time for Album Sheet. So he's up there first for his team, but that's still 3rd overall. He's 1,000 gold behind the Ember and like 500 or so behind the Sniper, who is got a Yasha right now. We talked about he goes maybe for mobility. We'll look on the
Dire's middle
Courier.
tower is
It
under
will
attack.
actually be an ultimate orb, so probably going to be just going for the Manta right there.
Maybe. Yeah, Manta's good for dodging out, potentially avoiding the Hoof Stomp, potentially avoiding the Magic Missile, and if you get the reflexes there. But on high ping, I would actually say I would prefer to see a Scotty out of that. Not great against the Lycan, but great against
Yeah,
the
I
Razor.
mean, still good.
So we'll see. But for now, at least it's a nice little bit of a stat boost, and he will be progressing nicely towards whatever item he may choose. The Manta pretty much at his fingertips, and we'll see if that's what he wants.
Yeah, it does seem like a little question. It seems almost a little questionable to me anyways, but definitely bringing the ping to light, then it seems very risky. Look at these Lycan Wolves, though, man. Chomi definitely got to play this hero a lot in 6.81. This Lycan Wolf micro is nice. Sure, it's not that hard. You just put them follow on somebody, but here they will. They find Swindle in the middle lane, and they will bring him down. There's no dodging that, and that's a much-needed kill. Good XP bounty and gold bounty coming out for Album Sheet, but Puck jumps in. Bottom lane will go to No Fear, is going to be brought down. Another kill there. Moon Meander going to be on top of that one. He's already got a Battle Fury phase drums, and he's going for another Battle Fury. He might have a second Battle Fury at the average first Battle Fury time, which is 24 minutes for an Ember Spirit. Might have two.
It's true. I mean, the Vengeful Spirit is kind of a low-value kill right now. Like, it's almost beating a dead
Especially
horse
when
at
you're
this
winning.
point. Vengeful Spirit has 1,500 net worth. She's level 7. She's been buying consumables for the team the whole time. We obviously saw her go for a full consumable build at level 1, and since then, things have been looking much better for her. Like, now that the Blink is up on the Sand King, maybe he can start buying awards, but for now, it's the stat items. The Magic Stick, looking towards Circlet, could be something like a Veil, though I don't think that synergizes very well with their teams. So maybe just the casual bracer for a little bit more effective help.
We will see Razor with 2,000 in the bank, so he could go for that Necro Book. I don't see what else we really go for besides the Necro Book. Yeah, maybe a Basher into like a Blink or something to just close the distance on the Sniper, or the Puck, just again more gap closing, because that's definitely an issue right now. Every hero on that team, well, Sniper just stands far back, but as far as the Nature's Prophet, the Ember, and the Puck go, they're all very elusive and pretty hard to bring down if you can't actually catch them. So we'll see what they want to go for. But until then, it'll be some passive farming. There's only one more tier 2 tower living. It's up in the top lane, and Complexity probably have their eyes on it.
Yeah. The Necro, the Blink, the Basher, the 3 items I would look at for like an Armlet's okay too, but I don't know. I think that might have been an item he would have picked up sooner rather than at this point of the game. But right now I would actually look at like his tier 2 boots. Like we talked about this before, but there's a lot of value in upgrading your boots, even if like the treads don't give increased movement speed. The attack speed, the increased damage, the increased HP could be huge from treads, or you could go for the BOT play and just rat it out a little bit more. It makes it so that Complexity have to respond to your every move, and it makes it much more difficult for them to know exactly what you're going to be about at any given point in time. But for now, it's just a farm game for him, and looks like it's going to be Brown Booty for a little longer.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big surprise. Obviously, since the change, you don't get the HP anymore on Shapeshift from a while ago. Going into treads is pretty sensible, but a lot of times you'll... Okay, the Hyperstone.
Wow.
So this is just not what I would have thought. He wants to go for AC straight off the bat, and then maybe into boosted travel. Not wanting to feed away Necro units, because honestly, Nature's Prophet and Sniper already, and the Ember, like, are all going to be pretty good at just dealing with that split push. So maybe the direct push with an armor or a item is the way to go for Chomi. I could kind of agree to that.
Yeah.
18-9 though, the score, and well, a bit of a lull on the action, as the game was very, very action-packed until those kills at like the 21-minute mark, the last we've seen.
Yeah, right now it kind of gives them like a 15 armor advantage if they do get the AC out, because well, actually I guess they don't have a mechanism, so they only get a 13 armor advantage, but
13, yeah.
Yeah, so right now with the AC divides, it does give you plus 10, gives the enemies -5. That's pretty sweet, but obviously since they don't have a mech, it's only the Bassies that can cancel each other out. So at least you get some good physical damage out there, and the enemy gets less. But you have to keep in mind that Ember Spirit, he doesn't really care about armor. He has Battle Furies, and those do enhanced damage, which is essentially pure damage that's negated by Ghost Scepter. Speaking of Ghost Scepters, looking over at the side of Z-Freak, I really like this item build against what they're seeing against Album Sheet. Like, the only thing that's going to cause him real grief right now is the Lycan hounding him down. So if he can just Force Staff out of the like epicenter, or Force Staff an ally out of a bad spot, and then when he has the Lycan on top of him, Ghost, like, he has all the utility he needs to survive through the fights and let his teammates do the damage. I think this is just a really smart pickup.
They're trying to find Moon Meander, and they're not trying to find him, they find him, but he's got spirits, and he'll take them over towards the Roche, but he'll take another one up towards that high ground, and the BKB, the double damage, or not the BKB, the ultimate, the double damage, BKB thrown out on Inquisitor. They will chase down Riser. He's used to dying, no big deal there. He's been the casualty just about every time. He's 2, 4, and 10. Moon Meander, though, will find the Vengeful Spirit back to where he started that engagement. Moon Meander actually ends up finding a kill at the end of it. They're trying to go in towards
What are you doing, Sand King?
onto Aloha Dance. There's the assassinate. He almost dodges it, but won't dodge that attack. Big Num with a decent stun, but there's a fantastic sprout on Shomi. They bring him down. He's got buyback. Can they cancel that TP? They cannot. Looking for the Searing Chains, but actually didn't have the mana after the Sleight of Fist. And now they're going to go in towards the Roche. Gem of True Sight coming out here.
That was a huge misplay from the Sanking. I don't know what he thought he was doing there, but jumping out right in full vision of everybody. They have silences. They have ways to pin you down. It was a huge misplay for him. So they lose out on the chance to Epicenter. They could have had him like on the high ground here and go from high to low ground, but nope, he just feeds. They give the Aegis to Moon Meander, and a double Battle Fury Ember Spirit at 25 minutes with an Aegis.
The average time for one was 24 minutes.
It's time to end the game, boys.
He got
this
two
is
at 24 and a half.
This is just too much for AS to deal with. We have not seen one good Epicenter this game. And Aloha Dance has had his blink for a long time. I said there was a lot on his shoulders.
Hard. They are like really looking for him. As soon as they see him, they put Assassinate,
exactly.
like Dream Coil, Sleight of Fist, like all these long range spells that can sort of knock him out of his rhythm, or even cancel his ability. Like, I don't know, tough game. We saw the tough game for Enigma trying to get off Black Holes in game 1 for Complexity, and game 2 it's the Sand King struggling to get off Epicenters.
Oh, I definitely agree with you. They're making it nearly impossible for him, but he still needs to find that opening. He just has to
still needs to do
pull a rabbit out of the hat. He needs to find that opportunity. That any mistake that they make where they don't think he's going to be in the right position, they do clump up at all, he has to punish them. Even a two-man Epicenter is going to be better than what he's brought to the table thus far, and he really needs to bring it, because at this point, everything's out of hand. If they don't just get a couple of kills in the next skirmish, then they're going to be completely run over. I mean, the sniper's getting very big. He's going to have a BKB soon. I mean, could go for the Desolator, of course, but if he goes for the BKB, like, he's immortal, so that's my preference. But either way, he's hiding in the tree line, looking for the opportunity. Z-Freak has Sprout. They also have Shrapnel to reveal him, but for now, they're not putting him in that direction, and he might actually find that opening. They are cautious, though. They'll go to the southern end. They almost find the Searing Chains on Shomi, but it does hit the Wolves instead, or the neutral Wolves instead, rather.
That assassin really hurts No Fear. He got the bottle up, going over to the Intreads as he casts those Assassinates. Swindle's just able to keep the supports out of the game right now. Although, like you said, Aloha in the trees, they don't see him, and maybe that's why they were trying to take the fight on the southern end here, just so Sand King couldn't get over if he even wanted to. But they'll slowly try to siege down the tower. It's not like it's the first time they've found themselves in this situation. Sure, Album Sheet have built quite a few more items. They can fight a little bit better now. The BKB, the drums on Inquisitor. But, I mean, then again, Moonyander has 2 Battle Furies, so watch out for that. No clumping Album Sheet. Also the BKB on Lycan, as we've seen. Blink on Big Num, Blink on Aloha. Nothing on the Vengeful Spirit, not a surprise. The Fortify will go out. Aloha's going to retreat from his fortified position there. And Moonyander kind of looks to chase, but won't in the end.
Yeah, I can't get too far ahead of himself there, but I don't know, just these towers are going away for free, and one important thing is how frequently they've been using this ward here. Like, you talked about the ward that you really liked in the early game that was placed out by the Pug. I like this one even better. Like, the fact that they've had this up 2 or 3 times this game for full duration, it's just absolutely insane. They were able to get a couple pickoffs on, like, here's like Vengeful Spirit a couple times.
Oh, Ember found Chomi.
Oh,
He's in trouble. Turn on those Reeboks. He's trying to run out of there. The ground sprout will miss because the magic immunity. Now the stuns come in. Z-Freak, you gotta use that map. You just bought the gem. He will survive. Mystic Flare. They bring him back everything. The coil as well. The assassinate. 4 heroes down. And I honestly would not be surprised if Album Sheet just tapped out on that one. I mean, after the grueling game 1 that they won, they might not want to burn themselves out here in game number 2, which is looking pretty much impossible for Album Sheet to win.
Yeah, Rax should be going down, and there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, with the lane of Rax gone, the game is done. So really smooth game from Complexity. Like, they had the late game advantage, but they still kept their tempo up throughout the entire process. And I think a lot of this is on the back of Z-Freak. Like, he wasn't completely necessary in a lot of the teleports that he came to, but he was still there.
I love the mech.
He was still contributional, and he was still doing a lot of work. He goes for the utility build. Swindle and Moon, they know they can play aggressive, and even a tier above them is going to be Limp. The puck play was absolutely insane here. He was going for that Aghanims, which would have been just crazy how good his Dream Close would be at that point, but no matter what, you look at Complexity, you see that all 5 players really just brought their A game here, and in game 2, they take it away in 28 minutes.
Yeah, and who are we to criticize the sniper pick? I actually think, like, Lycan and Razor both in the mid lane. Like, Sniper, even back in the day, always kind of counter the Razor, because you can just stay out of range in the 1 versus 1 matchup, never get static linked. And then, obviously, Lycan can't do much to compete either. especially when his bottle gets taken away. But I feel like if Album Sheet maybe one different mid hero, like a Quap or even the Puck, or just something that could be more in Sniper's face, and if they actually protected their own jungle from being warded. If Complexity didn't have tabs on the support for the entirety of the early game, then it could have been a lot more difficult. So Album Sheets, I don't know. They played well, but I think they maybe could have played a bit better and had a better chance. But Complexity, I love the utility build from Nature's Prophet. And we'll get into Game 3, guys. Again, before we go, up there in the top right, Helium, at Heliumbrella. That's me, Blaze here, the co-caster, at Blaze Casting. We bring him in for his great insight. This all sounds sarcastic, but it's not. I'm sorry, Blaze. You got peeped, and we'll be back for more.